Hi friends, I'm Jamie Trull. I'm a CPA and numbers nerd. I'm also a business owner, but I have a slightly different type of business model than maybe a lot of the other CPAs that you're used to. I actually teach finances online. I teach business owners financial literacy and profit strategy to help them in their business. But this is not always what I did. Previous to this, I was in the corporate world for a Fortune 500 company for a long time. And then I went out on my own and I was actually a fractional CFO where I was working directly with businesses to help them with their finances. And then I decided, after working myself like crazy and not feeling like I was really getting paid what I was worth, that it was time for a different type of business. And that is when I found Amy Porterfield. So if you don't know Amy Porterfield, you guys need to know Amy Porterfield. She is the queen of online marketing and digital courses. So she taught me how to create and market a digital course that could actually replace, and at this point, 5x my old corporate salary. And we're only going up from here. So I'm really excited to introduce you to her. If you already know her, then you know she's made tens of millions of dollars launching online courses and teaching other people how to do the same thing. I got to sit down and have a little bit of a happy hour chat with her and ask her all the secrets that you guys want to know. So of course, we talk about the secrets of online courses and what makes somebody successful at it, but we also delved a little bit into some more fun secrets as well. So make sure you watch the video and make sure that you also go check out jamietrull.com/Amy if you're interested in finding all the resources that can help you become a digital course creator too. Cheers, everybody. All right. Well, I think we first need to start off by a cheers.
Okay, perfect.
Cheers. Cheers.
Ooh, I'm excited. Wine and chatting?
Mm-hmm. Yep, we're just going to have some girl talk. We've got a charcuterie board over here.
Okay, so this is a special board, though.
Oh, yes, this is a special charcuterie board. And I should give a shout out to Corinne from Wilco Wine and Cheese who made this. This is not an ad. Hashtag not an ad. But this is a Tennessee-themed charcuterie board because Miss Amy Porterfield here has recently moved to my home state of Tennessee.
Yes. So there's moonshine, just for the record, if you get
that's
a
for
little
the end
bored.
of the video.
Okay, got it. I was like, when is that happening? And lots of goodies in here. And Jamie, you're kind of the fun part about moving to Tennessee. I didn't know a lot of people. You're one of the few people I knew. And Jamie took me out right away, got me margaritas, of course.
Yep.
So she just gives me liquor, and it tends to be extra fun.
That's generally my goal. It tends to work pretty well. So I'm just going to keep doing that.
Perfect.
Now I got you some Tennessee wine.
Yeah,
it's great.
this is good.
We got all the things we need. Okay, so talking about, before we get into all the fun of digital courses, which we are going to talk about, of course, because you're the guru of digital courses. Let's talk a little bit about Tennessee. How do you like living here? What's your favorite thing about living in Tennessee?
Okay, my favorite thing would be the people. The people here are incredibly nice. Like, everybody is nice to us, and we love that. So that's number one.
Yeah.
And I think number two is you look around and like right now especially, everything's green and lush and beautiful.
Yeah.
Very different from California. It's just a different landscape. And so we really love it. And we've got a little land in our backyard, and there's deer all the time because we feed them, so they come. So we've got deer, we've got little land, and it's green, and I love that.
Just wait for the snakes. The snakes are fun.
Okay. So I'll be going back to California. So nice to see you guys.
Okay, when
do snakes come? What are you talking about?
I mean, they're around all the time. Just, wait to see one.
I'll die.
So, because the theme of this video is spilling your secrets, what's your least favorite thing about Tennessee?
Okay, the humidity is just about going to kill me. Yeah.
It's awful.
I mean, especially coming from California, I walk outside and I'm like, I can't breathe. So, am I going to get used to the humidity?
No.
Okay.
No, it's always, it gets a little bit better.
I'll drink to that.
You just end up using a lot more hairspray. Like, I never used to be a hairspray person, and I have a lot in this.
We're locked in. We're locked in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I am glad you're here, for one, because we can actually sit down and do this in person.
So fun.
With some wine and cheese. Like, what is better than this?
This is good. I love it. I'm so excited.
Okay, so today, Amy, let's talk a little bit about digital courses, shall we? Do you know anything about digital courses?
Let's talk about it.
Is there
Let's do
anything that you want to share?
A few things.
All right, so let's get into some of these secrets, some of the things that people want to know from you. So what I would love to know is, what is your absolute favorite thing about being a digital course creator?
Ooh, I like this question. So I often say that, yes, I teach digital courses, and it's not that I'm obsessed with digital courses.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with what digital courses can do for your business and your life. And you've experienced this, I've experienced this. So I always talk about this idea of freedom, this idea that when you have a digital course, that you put the work and time and effort and love into creating this asset, you get to launch it over and over and over again. So you're not reinventing the wheel, which means that you're going to get more time and space and time for creativity, and you're not going to hit that financial ceiling because you have an opportunity to make more money with the same course over and over again. So I love the time, financial, and lifestyle freedom that a course gives to you. And I live only what I teach. Like, I live that freedom, and I see my students do it all the time.
Yep, and I can attest to that 100%. Like, that's my favorite thing too, is just the freedom that it gives you is so amazing, and the impact that you can have too, right?
I mean, so true. A lot of my students aren't about the money. They're about the impact on other people's lives. They tell me this all the time. And they say, not only do I get to impact so many more lives with my course than I could with one-on-one, because when you do one-on-one, you can only serve so many people. So they say, not only do I get to impact lives, but then I get to spend the money on helping those that I want to help and serve. And I love that.
Yep, that was my story from 2 years ago, right at the time, like almost to the day. We're recording this 2 years ago. We got to talk for the first time. And that was my story entirely, was I was doing one-to-one services, and I did love that business, but the impact was, only a certain number of people at one time. I could only take so many clients. And then I was kind of burning myself out doing the dollars per hour thing, and having something that was more scalable that could impact thousands at this point, which is crazy to say. 2 years later, thousands of people, and you tens of thousands, right? Like that has got to feel so amazing.
It does.
Yep,
yeah.
I agree. Okay, so that's an easy one. I get the easy one. Now the harder one, what is your least favorite part about being a digital course creator?
That's a good question.
We gotta get real here.
Yes, I've never been asked that.
It's happy hour, we gotta get real.
Yes. So my least favorite thing. Okay, one thing that's hard about creating digital courses, especially when you love to create the course, and tell me if you've experienced this, you create the course, and my motto is you create one course and then you launch it over and over and over again, so you're not reinventing the wheel. But when you launch your course, and then let's say a few weeks later, you realize something that you really want to change in the course. Has this happened to you? You're like, ooh, I don't like how I taught it that way, or like sometimes I'll teach social media in my courses and then social media changes, and I'm like, So my discipline is to wait to change the course till the next time I launch it. But waiting can sometimes just really get to me. So not being able to constantly change the course, because you shouldn't constantly change your course, right?
What's the point then?
Yeah, it slows you down. And if it's vital, of course, but if it can wait, you want to wait. But not being able to always tinker with it kind of gets me.
Well, and that's how I'm glad you say that, because I have felt that way, and my team has to. Now I have a team. I didn't used to have a team, so I would just tinker until I was blue in the face. And now that I have a team, they're like, no. It's fine, Jamie. And because usually I finish a course, I feel amazing about it for like a week. I'm like, this is the most amazing thing that has ever been created on the planet Earth, and everyone needs to take it. And then like the next week, I'm like, I wish I had said this a little bit differently, or I wish I had done this a little bit differently. And I automatically, then I go into this spiraling of,
you kind
it
of
needs to be better.
About it.
Yeah.
And I think we all do that. We all want an A+ course. And something I've learned from one of my friends, Brooke Castillo, she says, like, go for the B- work. I can't do B-, but I can go for B+.
I was going to say, I don't think your work is B-.
I cannot do it, but I can go for B+, meaning it's never going to be perfect, but I can always work on it slowly and each time I launch.
Well, and I love what you teach too, which is repeat and refine. You don't need 700 digital courses. Because I started and I was like, well, I want a course about this, and then I'm going to do an offshoot course. And I already had 7 courses planned. And you were like, let's start with one.
Let's just do one.
Let's do one.
Yes.
And then decide where we go from there. I'm like, okay, but I think that's how we get.
Yeah.
Okay, so then talking about, a lot of people try to do digital courses these days, right?
Yeah.
Like that's a thing now, I think, that people are aware of the impact of it. Many people have now taken a digital course, which probably wasn't the case really 5 years ago.
Right.
Right? Now people are aware of them. So what is it that makes for a successful digital course creator? Like, what's one trait you have seen, or one thing that successful digital course creators have in common?
Okay, can I give two?
Of course.
Okay, so the first thing, the difference between a successful digital course creator and a course creator that doesn't launch, doesn't make money, is that a successful digital course creator is willing to just get started even though they don't know all the answers.
Yeah.
So it's a mindset thing, but it's this idea that I know I'm not guaranteed success. I don't know how it's all going to come together, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I have hundreds and hundreds of success stories, Jamie being one, from Digital Course Academy. And Jamie, would you agree with this? Because I can say this about all my other success stories. When you first created your course, did you say, I know this is going to be a huge success. I am going to make bank with this. I'm going to change lives. This is definitely going to work.
Not even a little bit.
Right? So
bit.
All my success stories never start out saying, this is totally gonna work, I've got it in the bag.
Someone buys it. You're like,
yes,
hopefully somebody's gonna buy it.
And I hope it's not my mom. Like, I hope it's a real customer. So every course creator feels that in the beginning. Yeah. So knowing that the successful course creators just get started. They just do it. And it's usually from courage, not confidence, because confidence comes with success.
Yep.
But they just, and usually, here's the secret, they do it because their why is bigger than their fear. They want something they don't have, and they know digital courses will get them closer to that. Like you didn't want to be tied to your desk on the phone with clients every single day, knowing you could only make so much money and you only had so much time. So it's that desire, that why you have to get clear about. So that's number one. And then the other thing about a successful digital course creator is when something doesn't work out, they get back up and they do it again. And so some of my success stories, their first launch was not a success. My first launch, I made a whopping $267 and cried for a week. So I would never be here today with over 8 successful digital courses, over $40 million in successful course sales if that first launch, if I said, I'm not cut out for this. So they're willing to get back up.
I think that is so true. I love the idea of your courage being greater than your fear, right?
Yes.
Like, you have more courage than you have fear, or at least overcoming that fear. Because I definitely am a recovering perfectionist.
Oh, right here.
Which is the exact, like, it was just fear, right? And you just have to kind of do it anyway. You're not gonna all of a sudden wake up and be like, oh no, this is easy and I'm not scared anymore. No, you're terrified, and you keep taking those steps. And then you're right? Like, success oftentimes comes on the other side of failure. It's rare that we're just going to succeed straight out the gate at something. And if we just decide, well, I guess I'm not meant to do this anymore,
right?
You know, what could have been, right? Like, what could have been?
So true.
That's what I always think about. So,
I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, then flip side of that, right? Of course. What is it then that you see, and probably kind of similar themes, I would guess, but what is it that you see in people who maybe try to launch a course and aren't successful?
Okay.
That kind of
question.
is common.
Yes. Okay. So the first thing I see, I'm going to get a little tactical now, not just make it about success, mindset, but more tactical.
Yeah.
And the first thing I see is that people don't validate their idea. So this is a big one. So you have to make sure that it's just not that you want to create a course. Now, let's back up a little bit. Who can create a digital course? Anyone can create a digital course, because you just need to have gotten results for yourself or for your clients or customers or somebody else, and you're willing to show the roadmap of how you got it. Yep. We've all gotten results for ourselves or for somebody else in our personal life or business. So you have something that you can sell in a course. So let's say you think about, okay, so in my personal life, I've done really well with Airbnbs. I know how to choose the right place, put it together, market it right. I've made really good money with it. It's a side hustle, but I do good with Airbnbs. So I could teach that in a course, for sure. It's a great course. But now we need to go to the audience you want to serve and ask them, where do they struggle with this? Have they ever bought anything else related to how to do a successful Airbnb? Where do they get their information from? What do they want? And really understand the people you want to serve. I call them course calls. You know course calls.
Yep.
I actually did a podcast with Jamie as a course call before she was a client. Totally just remembered that. Before Jamie ever was in my course, I knew she was an ideal customer of mine. And so I wanted to show what a course call looked like. So Jamie got on my podcast and I interviewed her, just as you could interview your potential customers, learned what she needed and wanted, and took that information back to help shape my own course. So that's what you need to do. You need to validate. Most people that don't have a successful course have not validated. Here's another one. they don't actually, people that don't have success with their first launch, let's say, they don't really put a big effort into the marketing. Mm-hmm. So I teach people how to do webinars. And there's a lot of people that like, whoa, webinars, that's scary. I've never done one. What if the technology doesn't work? What if I don't know how to do it? Whatever. All of that comes up for all of us when we do something new, but you have to have a marketing vehicle. It's not enough to post on social media and say, I've got a course, if you want to buy it, come on over here. It doesn't work that way. You want to do a webinar or maybe a challenge or Facebook Lives leading up to this. You have to sell and sell more than once. You have to send multiple emails, post on social multiple times. It's a campaign. Mm-hmm. And so if you really treat it as one, and all of us can do it without a lot of bells and whistles, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I think that is so true. I didn't know, so most people in my audience know I took Digital Course Academy. That is how I connected with you, which is basically your blueprint for, here's how to create and launch. And that's what I love. It's not just like, here's how to create a digital course. It's the other part of it, which I didn't even know I needed, because I was so stuck on the tech is confusing and what do I even, write my course about and how do I do it, versus even getting to the point of thinking, but how am I going to sell it? Like I hadn't even reached that in my head to know I needed it. And then I got into DCA and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I had no idea how much I needed this part of it.
I love that.
Because I think that just made all the difference, was having a way to sell it. And I think right now there's a lot of course creators out there trying or want to be course creators who are creating things, but then they're like, how do you get people to buy it?
It's
And
true.
you have got to have that vehicle. And webinars are a fantastically like effective way to sell.
So fantastic.
Yeah.
Like you've done so well with your webinars. And I teach people, because webinars are a little bit foreign to people who've never done it before. So I'll teach them, as you know, slide by slide by slide by slide to get it all locked in. And I think that's important. That's another thing between successful digital course creators and those who do not have success. Whether you learn from me or somebody else, learn from somebody who is willing to teach you how to do it. They've gone before you and they'll be your guide. When I worked for Tony Robbins, that was like one of the biggest lessons I took, that if you ever want to be successful in any area of your life, find someone who's done it and who's willing to give you their roadmap or guide on how they've done it, so that you don't have to stumble your way and guess your way through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Who has time for that?
Right. And I'm scrappy by nature. So I'm always the person that's like, I can figure it out. And like, that might be you, that you're like, I don't need a course, like I can figure it out. I saved so much time, so much energy, so much like failed launch time, I'm sure, so much mind junk, just by being able to go through your course and also with other people who are going through it. And then you show up answering questions. Like it was so beneficial to have a guide through that process and not get lost in like 17 different directions.
I love that. Yeah, let's just kind of fast track this so that you can start serving the people you want to serve versus stumbling through, how do I do this?
Yeah.
Like, let's get to the end game as fast as we can.
Absolutely. So hopefully everybody, if you're thinking about creating a digital course, and I know she said you can learn from anybody, don't learn from anybody, learn from her. I will tell you, I'm a little bit biased, but you should learn from Amy for sure. But now, so let's skip, because we got to get to some of the charcuterie.
Right, I'm like looking
we can't really eat while we're. So I'm kind of eyeing this. We need to get some Jack Daniels going. I don't know. But so my last question, because we're spilling Amy's secrets today. What is totally course creation related?
Okay.
What's your? You look scared.
I am like, what is she going to ask?
Take a
right
sip,
now?
Amy. Take a sip.
Hold on. What is this about?
It's not too bad, I promise.
Okay.
What's your favorite guilty pleasure activity? Like when you just want to do something for you, what are you going to do?
Okay, so it's trash TV for sure. And here's what's so funny about my guilty pleasure. I haven't gotten to do it a lot. So long story short, when we moved from California to Tennessee, my husband was a San Diego firefighter and retired, which I don't really talk about this a lot, but he was able to retire because the business I have does well. And quite honestly, moving to Tennessee with different taxes, we're like, this could work. And firefighting's hard on your body. So my point being, he got to retire at a young age, and it's been amazing and wonderful. But as a firefighter, you're not home every other night. So it's 24 on, 24 off. So every other night, I'd watch trash TV at night, just do it. Like, I'm talking Real Housewives, any reality show, whatever it might be. Real Housewives is my favorite. New York is my favorite. So now he's home every night, and I'm like, you need to go away for a while, because he will not
watch it.
No, he's like, why are they yelling at each other the whole show? I love it. So I haven't gotten my guilty pleasure a lot lately.
Oh no! Oh,
I'll get back to it.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, I get kind of some of that now because I told you this earlier. My husband, I won't say necessarily retired, but he's taking a hiatus right
That's
now.
right.
And the fantastic thing about that is because of my digital course business, that is working really well. It's been really great, and he has been. It's been great having him around, but yes, there are moments like that where I'm like, don't you have somewhere to be right now? I got to do a podcast interview. Like,
we love them dearly, but like every day,
every day is a lot. Every day is a lot. That's so funny. Too good. Okay, well, let's give a quick cheers.
Cheers to you.
Cheers to you, Amy.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. And if you guys want to learn more about creating digital courses, I want to make sure you go get all the information. I've compiled all the things that you need to know, all of Amy's great resources, and my own at jamietrull.com/Amy. So go there right now, check out everything. There's so many great things to get you started and get you really moving on your journey to create your digital course. So thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye.